falling star. Can you make a wish? Ooh, just remember, luck is no such thing. One man succeeds while another man fails. Why is it then you ask the stars up above?
Coming to you live from Harlem, New York City, you're watching a special edition of Astrology-Numerology now. It's Wednesday, May 19, 2021. I'm your host, you already know. This is Z Starman, professional astrologer, numerologist. Well, we're back, or I'm presenting a special edition of Astrology-Numerology now because so many people have asked me, Z Starman, where are you? Where have you been? We need the astrology news and information, and I'm trying to get back into the studio. And we will be back into the studios of Manhattan Neighborhood Network very soon. Hopefully you can take some phone calls, I can take some phone calls, and you can hear what I have to say and talk to me live on air. But, you know, this is an unprecedented pandemic that have, you know, took us all for a ride. But we're here and now, right here, and we're here to bring you the latest astrology, numerology information. If you've never seen this show before, stick around for about 28 minutes, that's how long the show is, and learn something from an astrology and numerology point of view. We're all influenced by the planets and influenced by numbers. So we're gonna sort of kind of recap what has gone on for 2021. We're going to talk about the May 2021 highlights, and we're going to talk about the June 2021 highlights. So let's get started. Now, to recap, 2021 is a number five universal year. We take the number 2021 and we add it and reduce it to a single number, and that vibration is the number 5. In numerology, the number 5 is about change. It's about freedom. It's about vibrating on a higher frequency for change and for freedom. And that's what we're starting to see all over the world. People are changing, countries are changing, political parties, there's strife, but it's sometimes, in some cases, needed change. Now, for instance, we have the change that's going on in the Middle East now with the Middle East crisis. Everything has an astrology chart to it or a birthday to it. And just to explain a little bit, the astrology charts of Israel and Gaza, or Israel and the state of Palestine. Israel is ruled by the sign of Taurus. Its Independence Day is May 14th, 1948. So that makes it a Taurus. Now, they're at odds with the state of Palestine. Palestine is ruled by Scorpio. Its birthday is November 15th, 1988. So here these two countries for centuries, for decades, have been arguing and going to war over the land in Israel that is sort of kind of, so they say, belongs to Palestine. So we have that going on. We have the opposition of Israel, who's a Taurus, and Palestine, or the state of Palestine, who is Scorpio, and they're back and forth, and they're opposites, and they're warring and fighting, and hopefully we can get a resolve, some kind of way to stop the bloodshed, to stop the bombs. The children are dying, the people are dying. So we have that confrontation going on in a number 5 universal year. Now, if you want to know what your personal year is, your personal year is your month and date of birth added to the 5 universal year. So for instance, let's say if your birthday is June 10th, like mine's is. So we got 6 and 1 and 0, that equals 17. And we're going to, or 6 and 1 and 0, that equals 7. And we're going to add the number 5 onto it. So 7 and 5 equals 3, or 7 and 5 equals 12, and you reduce that to a single number, and you get the number 3. Other birthdays that are having a 3-year, and the meaning of a 3-year is about creativity and fun and socializing, and which is what I'm going to plan to do soon as the pandemic eases out a little bit. So know your personal year. Everybody out there, know your personal year. If you don't know what your personal year is, you can give me a call. I'm going to put up my number later on the show, and we can talk about your personal year. This is Z Starman. You're watching Astrology-Numerology now. Now, what else do I got a lot going on over here? And let's see, the Mideast crisis. Now, as we close out the month of May 2021, we're in the month by itself is a number 1 universal month. How do we get that? May is the 5th month. 5 plus 5 to the universal year, which is 5. So 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So May 2021 is a 5 universal, or number 1 universal month. It's a month of new beginnings everywhere. As we see the country in New York City and other places restricting or easing up on COVID-19 restrictions. And this is a time of the year, May 2021, that number 1 universal month, we start doing new things, planning new things. How are we going to make our way for the rest of the year begins this month in May 2021. If you want to know what your personal month is, I'm going to put up my number and you can call me after the show. We got a lot going on. Time is going by so fast. Now, what else do we have? Oh, yes. Now is the time, from an astrology point of view, it's the most wonderful time of the year. And that most wonderful time of the year is when Gemini season begins. Gemini season begins on May 20th, 2021 at 3:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you're living, let's say, in California, that's 3 hours behind us. So that would be 12:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The sun enters Gemini simultaneously throughout the world, depending what time zone you're in. So Gemini season is on us. It's May 19, 2021, and tomorrow, Gemini season begins, and I want to say happy birthday and solar returns to all the Geminis who are watching the show right now. This is one of the most aspiring times of the year for Gemini people in general, because we got a lot of activity going on in Gemini. We have Venus in the sign of Gemini. Venus is in the sign of Gemini. From May 8th, that's when it started, until June 2nd. So if you're a Gemini, Venus is the sign of money and power, and some of you are going to be falling in love, having those summer flings and all that kind of stuff going on with Venus, the planet of love. And it's great to communicate, get out information. If you're a writer, great time for a writer right now, time of the year, because we're in Gemini season. Gemini is the sign of communication and information. And I'm a Gemini. My birthday is June 10th. And it's sort of kind of hard understanding Gemini people. And here's why. Gemini, along with Virgo, are the only 2 human signs of the zodiac. We got Virgo, the twins, or Virgo the Virgin, and Gemini the twins. What I like to say is that Virgo and Gemini, they're both co-ruled by the planet Mercury, and they sort of kind of have the same father, but different mother. Gemini's mother is the spring, and Virgo's mother is the late summer. And it's sort of kind of hard to communicate with This is my Gemini experience. When the other signs are animals, you got Taurus the bull, Cancer the crab, Capricorn the goat, Leo the lion, Aries the ram. But when you're a Gemini or a Virgo, it's sort of, we're misunderstood a lot because we're sort of kind of have to be like Dr. Doolittle. If you're Mercury or if you're a Gemini or a Virgo, your ruling planet is Mercury, you're human. And so it's sort of kind of, you have to be like Dr. Doolittle and to be able to talk to the animals. But I want to say happy birthday to all the Geminis. It's big time for Gemini or wherever Gemini is in your astrology chart. The energy is here for air signs, Aquarius and Libra because of the Gemini factor. And also it can be sort of kind of struggling and challenging for the other mutable signs. The mutable signs are the signs that change the season, like Pisces. Pisces changes winter into spring. Gemini changes spring into summer. Virgo changes summer into fall, and Sagittarius has changed fall into winter. So this is Gemini season, and wherever Gemini is in your chart, if you don't know, I'm going to put up my number later on, and you can call me, and I will tell you where or what Gemini is doing and the number is doing, and if they're working in your favor or not. Now, up next, part of May 2023 highlights, we got a lot of shifting going on. We got a lot of shifting going on in the universe. And one of those things that are shifting right now is that the planet Saturn is about to go retrograde. Saturn is currently in the sign of Aquarius, and it's going to be retrograde from May 23rd, 2021 until October 18th, 2021. So planets retrograde, the outer planets like Jupiter, like Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they retrograde for 5 months at a time. And Saturn has been or is about to go retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn is about karma. Saturn is about discipline. So it's up to you, Aquarius people who are watching the show, is to get discipline, get your life in order. Saturn, in old school astrology, was also the ruler or one of the rulers of the sign of Aquarius. So Saturn is retrograde. So I want all my Aquarian people and all my Capricorn people, because Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, to take it slow, readjust your life, and get ready for some karma that's either owed to you or some karma that you have to pay out. If you're just watching, it's Wednesday, May 19, 2020. This is Z Starman, host of Astrology-Numerology Now. We got a lot to talk about. If you want to get in contact with me, I'm on all the social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram as Z Starman, but you can call me. We have a new number, and that number is 917-473-2211. That's 917-473-2211, 2211, to talk astrology with me after the show is over. What else is coming up for May 2021? And we're going to talk about June 2021 highlights, but we got to finish out May. May is a month to remember from an astrology point of view. Now, also we have going on, we have another Mercury retrograde coming up. Mercury will be retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Mercury will be retrograde starting on May 29th to June 22nd, 2021. And you guys have been watching this show for the last 14 years. That's how long we've been televised on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. For the last 14 years, we've talked about Mercury retrograde. And basically, Mercury retrograde is a cosmic timeout. And it's going to affect a lot of Gemini people, myself included. we have to make changes. We have to make adjustments during this Mercury retrograde. So for May, we got Saturn retrograde, we got Mercury retrograde. And again, Mercury is going to be retrograde from May 29th to June 22nd. And Mercury will come out of the shadow of its retrograde on July 7th. Or let me double check that. That's July 7th. So Mercury will be in the sign of Gemini for 2 months. So Gemini is a golden opportunity, or wherever Gemini is in your chart. We got Mercury, we got Venus there until the 2nd of June, is May 19th as we speak. And Mercury is going to be in, or is in retrograde from May 29th to June 22nd. Get your life together, Gemini, or wherever Gemini is in your chart. One thing about Mercury retrograde, we know the drill. We back up our computer files. We don't sign on the dotted line when it comes to contracts and agreements. And one thing, the challenge of Mercury retrograde is not to be careless. Hold on to your computers, your laptops, your watches, or any personal belongings, because people, when they lose something or something happens, oh, that was Mercury retrograde. Yes, but sometimes it is, but sometimes it's your own fault for not paying attention. And the bottom line is to pay attention during Mercury retrograde. Now, if you want to talk to me after the show, you can give me a call, 473, what's that number? Here's the number. The number is 917-473-2211, 971-473-2211, if you want to talk to me after the show. Now, up next, we got some more May stuff. This is a lot of changes going on. And this next comment is for people who are Pisces people. Because as we speak, Jupiter on May 13th entered the sign of Pisces, and it's going to be there until July 28th. What is the significance of this? Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces because in old school astrology, Jupiter was the ruler of Pisces until Neptune showed up around 1831. So this is a boost of energy for Pisces people, and especially for people who were born in the years 1938, 1950, 1962, 1974, 1986, 1998. Jupiter is the largest planet in 2010. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. And Jupiter is about expanding things and making things bigger and larger and shining light on. It's the largest planet in our solar system. It's about abundance. It's about good luck. So to all my people, again, born in 1938, 1950, 1962, 1974, 1986, you are having your Jupiter return. So that's very beneficial. And it's only going to be there for a couple of months. Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. It'll come back to Aquarius on July 28th, and we won't see Jupiter in Pisces again until December 29th. So that's another aspect that we got going on for the month of May 2021. Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces. Now, the granddaddy of it all, I mean, you got Saturn retrograde, you got Mercury retrograde, you got Jupiter in Pisces. Now, on May 26th is the biggest event of the month, and that's when we're going to have the super flower moon blood lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius on May 26th. And it will be in its totality from 11 a.m. to 11:25 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now, just because we can't see a lunar eclipse here in New York and most of the United States, it's still happening. And the totality of it is, again, when it's that blood moon red lunar eclipse, when the earth blocks out the light of the sun onto the surface of the moon, that's what an eclipse is. And an eclipse is one of the most powerful times of the year. During eclipse, I like to say to everybody, especially Gemini and Sagittarius, because the sun's in Gemini, the moon is in Sagittarius. Be mindful, be careful, be peaceful more than anything during this lunar eclipse. One of the things I always tell people to do is to make a wish, vibrate at a higher frequency. Try not to get into arguments, fights, and disagreements, because there will be communications breakdown. This could be one of the most powerful times of the year with this super flower blood lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius on May 26th. This is Z Starman. If you're just watching the show for the very first time, I am a professional astrologer and numerologist. We have been televised live on Manhattan Neighborhood Network for the last 14 years. Before there was Facebook, before there was Twitter, before there was Instagram, there was Z Starman right here every Monday night, televised live on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Now let's move along to the June highlights. We got a few more minutes left into the show. June 2021, from a numerology point of view, is a number 11 universal month. Number 11, why is that? June is the 6th month. We add 5 for the universal year. 6 and 5 is 11. So everybody out there, despite the retrograde, despite the lunar eclipse, despite the Saturn retrograde, there's room for positive, transformative energy throughout the month of June, because it's a number 11 universal month. Make spiritual changes, pray, vibrate at a higher frequency for the month of June. Now we got some more aspects. Venus is in Cancer on June 5th. Venus is in the sign of Cancer. Good beginning for Cancerian people, but we have some major aspects coming on. Some major aspects, and I want everybody to pay attention to. June is, we have Mercury square Neptune from the sign of Gemini to Pisces. A lot of communications, a lot of trust issues going wrong, people saying the wrong thing. Beware of that day. Mercury square Neptune, that's on June 5th, 2021 at 3:03 p.m. This big one, Mars opposing Pluto. Mars is in Cancer, and it'll be opposing Pluto, or opposite, on June 5th also at 26 degrees Capricorn and Cancer for you seasonal astrologers. And also, we got coming up 2 major events. We have a solar eclipse coming up on June 10th. Yes. See, we're in eclipse season, so we usually go eclipse, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, then solar eclipse. But we have a solar eclipse coming up in the sign of Gemini. The sun and the moon will be in the sign of Gemini on June 10th. And also, June 10th is my Earth Day, my birthday. Happy birthday to me. You want to send birthday greetings? I'd love to read and hear from it. And so this is part of June astrology and numerology highlights. We got eclipses, we got retrogrades, and we got all kinds of stuff from a numerology point of view. Again, if you want to know how you fit into all this, give me a call. Area code 917-473-2211. Or you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or you can visit the Astrology-Numerology page on Facebook. Astrology-Numerology Now TV show on Facebook. And I would be more than happy to guide you and be your astro life coach. Now, before we go, we got about 2 minutes left in the show. I am a big sports fan, as a lot of people know, and I want to say congratulations to my New York Knickerbockers. The New York Knicks are in the playoffs. They are the 4th seed in the NBA Eastern Conference playoffs. We hope they go a long way and very far. And I just wanted to share the birthdays of some of the New York Knicks. First up, Julius Randle. Julius Randle, he's a Sagittarius. His birthday is November 29th, 1994. MVP candidate. And also he has the moon in Libra with a number 5 life path number. RJ Barrett, he's a Gemini. He should do very well with all the action in Gemini. His birthday is June 14th, 2000, and he has the moon in Scorpio. Derrick Rose, former MVP of the National Basketball Association. He's a Libra. His birthday is October 4th, 1994. October 4th, 1988. He has the moon in Leo. And the head coach of the New York Knickerbockers is Tom Thibodeau. He should be the coach of the year, as far as I'm concerned, as how he's brought the New York Knicks back. His birthday is January 17th, 1955. So there you have it. The New York Knicks, they're going all the way. And close the show, I'm putting on my New York Knickerbocker hat. Go New York, go New York, go. That's about all the time we have for Astrology-Numerology now. I want to thank my producers, the lovely and beautiful Dietrich Kelsey, and I want to thank you, the viewers, for watching Astrology-Numerology now. This has been Z Starman for Astrology-Numerology now, saying peace, love, light, namaste.
And throughout eternity, that's the stars up above. Just ask them. Ooh, just ask them. The planets of light. Who controls your very soul?